congratulations on the series.
Thank you so much.
Even if we see very little of it.
Oh yeah. Well, I feel like in episode 1 I'm only in it for about 10 seconds. So
You are in it afterwards.
I am in it afterwards. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
What was it about this story that made you want to be part of it?
I just think Agatha Christie's are very fun. I've always loved watching them. I've never actually read one, but I wish I should, possibly. But I've always loved sort of a murder mystery, especially a period piece. And I think they're very cosy, dramatic, and exciting, and quite lovely.
What I was saying to Chris Chibnall earlier is that I absolutely love anything set in the early 1920s because it feels like almost like either the 70s or the 90s here where people lived to party.
Yes, absolutely, and I like the clothes as well. I love a high waist and a wide leg.
Flapper dresses.
Absolutely, yeah.
What was it about your character that made you want to be in it?
I wanted to be in it. Jimmy Thesiger he's sort of a bit of a silly playboy, and I thought that was fun. It described him as dressing sort of flamboyantly, and I'm wearing a big brooch and a cape, so I've sort of leaned into that tonight. And but I didn't really know much about his character when I got the audition, other than he was a bit of a silly posh idiot, and I like playing silly posh idiots.
Well, would you describe him as a bit of a cad?
Yeah, in some ways a cad, but he's sort of also, I think of cads as quite sort of horny, and Jimmy's quite sexless, especially in the show. And I think, but that also was quite interesting to me, that he seems sort of, quite oblivious to a lot of things, and you don't know where his sort of like, what his life actually is.
When you decide the way you want to play him, because you said you felt like he was kind of sexless, are these notes that you're given by the director, or do you decide whilst reading the screenplay how you're going to play him?
Well, I decided during it, because he does, I actually don't know if it's made the final cut that much, but he does sort of take a shining to a woman in it, but in a sort of like quite strange manner that I think, and I read into that I was like, I feel like he's doing it because he feels like he should, because he sort of feels the societal pressures to sort of flirt with women, and he's a bit on the nose about it. So that was what sort of informed the sexlessness.
Would you say he's like sexually ambiguous, as in, I mean, I read him as being someone who is pretty much would be with anyone as long as they put up with him?
Yeah, I think he is definitely sexually ambiguous, yes. Sexless and ambiguous. There's lots of questions that don't get answered in the show, but we'll leave the audience to decide what's going on in Jimmy's head.
I liked every single character for their own sort of, even those who I thought were a bit villainous. I found them very exciting, as I say, because I am a huge Agatha Christie fan, but I also really love the way you guys played those characters.
Yeah, it was great. It was so nice. All the characters are so fun, so interesting and different, and it's a great ensemble cast, and they're all brought to life by an amazing selection of actors that I feel very lucky to have worked with.
I know you said you didn't really read in Agatha Christie, but you're a fan of those kind of murder mysteries. Of all the films that were adapted from her stories, which has been your favourite?
There was a BBC one years ago they did, and then there were none, with like Aidan Turner and Charles Dance, and that was fabulous. And it released around Christmas. I loved it. It was so good.
Absolutely love that. Would you be interested in it's left open to possibly a second season? Would you be up for being in the second season?
Yeah, I love doing jobs. I love doing jobs. So yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys!
Hey you guys.
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys.
Hey, you guys!